Up guys, Patrick here at Spartansuppz.com with the supplement review on the Redcon1 RPG. It stands for regulate and partition glucose. It is a glucose disposal agent, an insulin mimetic, whichever you like to call it. We're going to go over the ingredients. We're going to get all geeky, go all sciencey on this, tell you how they work, tell you what they do, tell you how they interact, go over some of the dosages. We will definitely cover how to use this product because it is a bit of an intelligent product that requires a little bit of knowledge and so on that goes with it in the best implementation for maximum results. We'll go over pricing, value for money, effects, and I'll give you my feedback on the product as well. So let's jump straight into it. On screen now you're going to see one of these, Nutritional Information panel, minus the slabs of notes because it is quite comprehensive for this here Redcon1 RPG. This is a capsule product, so there is no serving grams as such, but one serve is going to be 4 capsules. Now, this is a very comprehensive product, so we are going to sort of somewhat rapid fire off the ingredients because there is quite a number of them. They're quite big words. So let's rock through it. Redcon do all open labels, so you can see exactly what the doses are. That's really cool. I like that they do that. It's keeping it very honest because you can really assess them and make a really informed decision. First off now, we've got some Chromium picolinate, 300 mcgs, awesome dose. What Chromium does is helps to regulate blood glucose levels, and so it's going to help keep them from crashing too high or getting too low. It helps keep them in the middle ground, which is where we want them to be effective, and not only to help you to utilize glucose better, but also to minimize fat storage as well, which is one of the less known sort of facts about it. Next up on the blend, we have some Gymnema sylvestre powder at 1 gram. This is a whopping dose of the Gymnema. What it does is helps to, again, regulate blood glucose levels and also help to increase your insulin production, so like your output of insulin in the first place. When you ingest carbohydrates, you produce insulin. That process from your liver, providing you weren't a type 1 diabetic, and you can actually produce it endogenously, like from your body within. That process is what you require to cover carbohydrates. So if you take in X amount of carbs, you need X amount of insulin to cover it. This will help with the production and make it as effective and efficient as possible. Next up on the blend, we have some cinnamon bark extract. Again, this is working to increase your insulin sensitivity. So that's the ability of the cells to utilize insulin, their receptiveness. So when you can produce more of it and uptake more of that to get it into the area where it's most effectively utilized. Next up on the blend, we have some berberine at 300 milligrams. Berberine, again, very good for regulating blood glucose levels. It's going to help keep those levels where we want them. When things are too high, we have a tendency to store them as body fat. That is definitely something we want to avoid. When we talk about insulin, it's a very powerful hormone, and it's a storage hormone. It shoves nutrients into cells, so it can either put them into the good or into the bad, basically. What we want to do is help to, by maintaining better blood glucose levels, is shuttle nutrients into the muscle building, the glycogen storage, the nutrient partitioning side, and not into storing them as body fat. That is our worst enemy. Next up in here, we've got some 2 types of alpha lipoic acid. We've got the 2 most effective forms with a total of 200 milligrams. We'll cover these together. What alpha lipoic does is increases your insulin sensitivity. So that's going to help your body to handle insulin much more effectively. It is a potent and powerful antioxidant as well. It's got a number of health benefits, heart health benefits and so on as well. But the main benefit for this particular product, insulin sensitivity. So your ability of your body to uptake in your cells to utilize and remain sensitive to insulin so that you don't become immune. If your insulin sensitivity is dropping off, you basically store ingredients less effectively and you'll gain more body fat. That is what we want to avoid at all costs, and this is ideally helping to retrain our body and resensitize it to insulin to utilize it more effectively. Next up on here, we've got some Banaba leaf extract. This is at 60 milligrams. Main benefits of Banaba is the glucose transportation. So once we've got the insulin there, it's going to help to shuttle, it acts as a shuttling nutrient. The Banaba plays a role in that transportation of the glucose to get it into the cell where it's actually needed to be stored. So that's going to allow it to be stored or utilized either as glucose, so like sugar in the bloodstream, or as stored as glycogen, which is equally beneficial because that's like our fuel in the tank to both perform, recover, and also transport nutrients. The real benefit of carbs as a carbohydrates as a macro is, yes, they're a fuel source, but they're also a transport storage device as well. Carbs release insulin, Insulin stores nutrients and helps to drive them to the cell, which we're going to cover when we go about the application of this product as well, because there's some really cool benefits there. Next up with this, we have some paradoxine, grains of paradise at 25 mg. What this is, paradoxine is actually a thermogenic compound, helps to increase our caloric output, and it does have some ability to sort of do some insulin interactors as well. What I like about paradoxine is it is not a stimulant, it's not a thermogenic, like a stimu-up type of a complex, but it does help you to waste more calories. So this is sort of helps to round this out as a recomposition type compound. Cool addition, very cool compound. It's been around for a little while. People behind Redcon have utilized this in other products before. I'm a big fan of the ingredient, and I like that it doesn't give you the jitters or anything like that, so you get all the benefits without the side effects. And the last ingredient, which I skipped over for good reason, is some biotin. It's a very pure source. You have 5 milligrams of it. I'm going to read my notes out here. We've got biotin, nutrient metabolizer, so it's going to help your body to tell gene cells what basically to do. Reason we wanted that is we said we require biotin to form glucose, so basically to allow it, to be food to be broken down, digested, and actually make glucose, which is then either used as energy or stored as glycogen, which is how stored glucose stores. And that's what's in it. So we have ingredients to help with the production of insulin, help to transport glucose in the bloodstream, help to increase our cell sensitivity so we can uptake glucose and be more receptive to insulin. Then we've also got ingredients to help keep our blood glucose levels in the sort of range where we want it. So they're not dropping too low or we crash, or they're not getting up too high and we're storing excess glucose as body fat. This is quite a comprehensive product. The doses of all of the ingredients in here are very efficacious and very high. And if you're looking, when we talk about the application of this product, this goes hand in hand with carbohydrates. If you're following a low carb diet, this is absolutely not the product for you. This is designed to be taken alongside carbohydrates. If you're following low carb and you add this, should you add carbs? Providing you adjust your macros is the answer. So, wherever you take this, basically per 2 capsules, it's going to be for around 25 grams of carbohydrates, I should say. So, ideal times to take this, peri-workout, around your biggest carb meals. Carbs are a fuel source, you want them around your workouts. It's going to help to act as a fuel source for energy itself to perform, but more importantly, because that's not really when we talk about bodybuilding and lifting weights, we're not going to be using a huge amounts of glycogen. Let's be realistic, it's an anaerobic exercise. Not only doesn't require glycogen in huge amounts, it doesn't even require oxygen. The more important part of why we want to have carbs around our workouts and utilize insulin effectively is to transport nutrients. It's a storage hormone and it's extremely anti-catabolic as well. When insulin is up, cortisol is down. It's sort of like a seesaw arrangement. This is going to act to make a very anti-catabolic or anti-muscle breakdown environment, which is very advantageous for building muscle. So that means we can take in more of the amino acids, creatine, the anabolic type compounds, the ones that help to build muscle, shove them into the muscle cells and utilize them more effectively. How do we do that in simple terms? Simple terms, take this alongside your pre-workout meal. For girls, maybe that's going to be having at least 25 grams of carbs included in that meal. For guys, more likely 50 grams. And you can even utilize some of that carb intake within your intra-workout supplementation as well. So if you were using, say, a source of carbs like highly branched cyclic dextrin, found in Redcon1's cluster bomb, not coincidentally, you could take this alongside that. So if you're going to do that, I would actually mix that with my pre-workout, because it does take a bit of time to digest and be utilized. And then you can have your RPG with alongside your pre-workout meal. That's got some carbs, and then you've got some extra in your intra-workout as well. For your next serve, you can do that post-workout with another batch of carbohydrates, whether that be if you prefer powdered form or whole food form. That's the requirement. The time that I personally would not recommend taking this product is first thing in the morning with carbs. Reason being is your body is not going to be very effective. It's already insulin sensitive at that time because you've had so little. This is ideally utilized around workouts when your biggest carb meals are/should be. Reason we don't want to have this in the morning, I would recommend against it, is because it's going to act as an unnecessary requirement when your blood glucose levels are already really low. Your body's going to respond to that very well already, and there is sort of like you can get in a bit of a lull with it. better scenario, the best way to maintain insulin sensitivity in the morning and to optimize our bodies to utilize it better later in the day and to get the most out of our RPG, you don't have carbohydrates in the first place. If you keep having something, your body does become desensitized to it. The best way to stay sensitive to it is to not have it, or to have it at limited times throughout the day in limited doses. So around our workouts, we want to create a very anti-catabolic / anabolic environment. Best way to do that is to stack nutrients around our workouts. Workout right here, this is pre-workout. We want to get tons of like readily available carbs, amino acids, and so on around our workout to fuel performance and blunt catabolism or muscle breakdown. And then we want to do the same thing post-workout. We want fast-acting protein like whey isolate, like isotope, free-form amino acids such as branched chains, EAAs, so on during our workout, and then some sort of readily available carbohydrate, whether that be whole food like a white rice or rice, anything rice-based is quite fast digesting, or something powdered such as a cluster bomb from Redcon is a good option. Getting those nutrients in available, having our RPG alongside that is going to allow for the maximum effectiveness and utilization of those nutrients for sweat gains, muscle gains, and also help as a recomposition compound as well. So we can really utilize more of the food that we take in for good and less of it for evil, aka fat storage. That was a spiel. Went a little bit sciencey and a little bit geeky in terms of the explanation of how to utilize this, but this is a very cool compound and very effective if utilized effectively. It needs to be done in conjunction with a macro track diet. I see a lot of people just using this alongside cheat meals. Not as effective in my opinion. I think the best utilization of this is really around stacked meals with carbs. If you're carbing up or something, you're doing a high carb refeed, high carb low fat, then yeah, absolutely taking this alongside that is going to help utilize that effectively, and you'll have better workout performance as a result of it. But not so suitable if you're going to eat a pizza due to the fat content primarily. In terms of value for money, this is a 60 serve product, retails for $99.95, makes it $1.60 a serve. Bang for your buck, especially when you look at the dosages, excellent. For most smaller bodies, you're probably only going to be taking one serve a day. You'll do probably 2 caps pre and 2 caps post with carbohydrates, it's a requirement. So your value for money and your utilization, this is going to be quite long lasting. Bang for your buck's excellent. You're going to have it for at least a couple of months. And if you are a bigger human, you might only use this only on training days, really around your workouts, since that's when you want to maximize nutrient partitioning. All in all, a very cool supplement. This is suitable for anyone wanting to build muscle or burn body fat and maximize recovery. There really isn't necessarily a bad time to use this. The only time that might be as optimal is if you're following a low carb / keto type of a plan, since there's not a huge amount of carbs, not a huge amount of insulin, it just wouldn't be that applicable. But that about wraps it up. Supplement review on Redcon1's RPG, done. It's a very comprehensive glucose disposal agent. If you tried anything on Redcon, you know they make legit products. This is certainly no exception. It is available now at Spartansuppz.com, $99.95. Free shipping on all orders over $100, and it's also available across all Spartansuppz retail stores as well. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this review, please make sure to hit the like button down below. Drop a comment with your feedback, any questions you have about your plan, how to utilize RPG in it, or any other products at all. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, stay up to date with all the latest content. Thank you again for watching. I'm Patrick from Spartansuppz.com.